If he goes quiet, your mind gets loud. And that is where most people lose. Because the more you chase, the faster he drifts. This video is for women and men alike. We are breaking down what silence really does, and how to use it without playing games. When a man pulls away, panic begs you to fix it, so you text more, explain more, and reach more. But pressure rarely creates closeness. It usually makes distance feel even safer to him. Deep down, you fear being forgotten. So you overgive just to feel secure. But here's the truth. Chasing can feel like begging. Pulling away does not always mean he stopped caring. Sometimes he feels overwhelmed, confused, or emotionally cornered. People create space when feelings feel heavy, especially men taught to handle stress alone. He may vanish to think, not to punish. Pay attention to this. Distance often starts inside him. Ignoring him is not revenge. It is the decision to stop forcing connection. That pause changes the emotional temperature. It gives both people room to feel the gap. A healthy silence says, "I will not chase confusion." This is where it gets interesting. Space can reveal truth. When you stop reaching, he loses easy access. And easy access lowers urgency. Humans value what might slip away, not because love is a game, because contrast wakes sleeping feelings. But here's the danger. Fake silence feels manipulative. If you ignore him while secretly monitoring everything, you are still emotionally chasing. Real distance happens in your mind first. You stop waiting around for crumbs. You return to your own life. Pay attention to this. Self-respect is louder than texting. Silence also creates curiosity. Your absence interrupts his normal pattern. The brain notices what suddenly changes. No message, no reaction, no reassurance. That gap makes him wonder what shifted. This is where it gets interesting. Uncertainty creates attention. He starts filling in the blanks himself. And people often imagine more than reality. Maybe she is done. Maybe I pushed too far. Maybe he is realizing your calm is real. Silence lets his thoughts do the work. But here's the truth. Words lose power when overused. There is another reason ignoring works. It protects your nervous system from chaos. Constant checking keeps your body in alarm mode. Every unread message feels like a threat. Distance helps your emotions stop spiraling. Pay attention to this. Calm people make better choices. Once you calm down, you see patterns clearly. You notice who contacts you only when bored. You notice who disappears after intimacy. You notice how little effort was actually there. Painful truth becomes visible in silence. This is where it gets interesting. Distance exposes reality fast. Imagine he used to text every evening. Then suddenly, he replies with one cold word. You send 3 warm messages to revive it. He gives you nothing back. That is your answer, even without words. But here's the truth. Effort should never need rescue. Now flip the example. You stop double texting and disappear into your own day. He notices the silence by dinner. Then he sends, "Hey, are you okay?" That question reveals your absence had weight. Pay attention to this. Value is often felt in contrast. Still, ignoring him is not a magic trick. It will not create love when none exists. It only reveals what was already there. Real interest leans in after space. Weak interest fades when attention is removed. This is where it gets interesting. Silence separates desire from convenience. That is why this works for men too. If a woman pulls away, chasing can backfire as well. Over-pursuit often looks like insecurity, not devotion. People trust energy that feels grounded. Stepping back protects your dignity either way. But here's the truth. Neediness can wear any face. So what does healthy ignoring actually look like? First, no emotional paragraphs. Second, no late-night check-ins for closure. Third, no posting stories just to bait him. Quiet means quiet, not performance. Pay attention to this. Silence should heal you first. Fill the space with real life. Go to the gym, see friends, sleep properly. Finish work you kept delaying for him. Put your attention where it builds you. Attraction often returns when your life feels full. This is where it gets interesting. Energy changes before words do, and he can feel that change. Not through magic, but through your absence of chasing. Your replies become slower because you are busy. Your tone becomes lighter because you are steadier. Confidence shows up as calm, not control. But here's the truth. Pulling back is only step one. If he comes back, do not melt instantly. Watch what happens after the first sweet message. Anyone can return when they feel your absence. Consistency is the real test. Effort over time matters more than one apology. Pay attention to this. A comeback is not a character change. Look for stable behavior. Does he plan? Does he follow through? Does he disappear again after getting comfort? Or does he finally show emotional maturity? Your silence should raise your standards, not lower them. This is where it gets interesting. Boundaries reveal intentions quickly. Here is a simple example. He comes back saying, "I've been thinking about you." Nice words, but watch the next week. If he plans nothing, nothing changed. If he shows up steadily, then listen. But here's the truth. Attention is cheap. Effort costs. And what if he never comes back? Then silence gave you a faster answer. That hurts, but confusion hurts longer. Ignoring him stops you from living in false hope. It closes the door on imaginary potential. Pay attention to this. Clarity can feel cruel at first, but clarity is still mercy. It saves months of guessing and self-abandonment. It reminds you that mutual effort is not too much. The right person will not need repeated chasing. They may need space, but not endless rescuing. This is where it gets interesting. Healthy love survives honest distance. So the psychology is simple. Ignoring a man when he pulls away changes the pattern. It removes pressure, reveals interest, and protects your mind. It lets absence create contrast. And it forces truth to show up. But here's the deepest part. Silence also changes you. You stop begging for reassurance. You remember your value without his response. You realize love should feel chosen, not chased. That shift is what people feel. And that shift changes everything. Pay attention to this. The goal was never to win him. The goal was to stop losing yourself. If he returns with effort, you will see it. If he does not, you will survive it. And if this helped, stay with me here. There is more psychology that can protect your heart. So breathe, step back, and let truth speak.